But before we start today, I want to talk a little bit about some stuff. I've been thinking about some things regarding my channel, my content, and the community, and all these types of things. This is all stuff that I've been thinking about for a while. I kind of want to be transparent about stuff, just so we're all on the same page, basically. You know, it's nothing bad. I'm just thinking about the direction that I want to go from now on. And to do that, I'm going to need everyone's support and cooperation. So I just want to remind everyone, check the rules before you chat. Try not to have too many off-topic conversations among yourself. I really like that my community is so positive and you're all getting along with each other. But I just think that we should try to keep that out of the stream chat and delegate it to Twitter and DMs and stuff like that. And try not to flood the chat with too much unrelated things. And you know, it's mostly my responsibility because I have been you know, neglecting the chat sometimes. Honestly, I feel like I want to start coming back around and interacting with the chat a little bit more, and I think that's one step in the right direction. So that's one thing. In my rule set, you can check in the description. It says, please be respectful, no harassment, etc. I mean, no one's really, none of my listeners are harassing anyone. I think it's just a few trolls. Just if you see anything like that, just ignore them and they'll give up, or the moderators will take care of it. No spam, you know, no one's spamming except the bots, and we always delete those. That's fine. Backseating, we haven't really had any problems with that. Just remember, if I'm playing a game or something like that, or if we're talking about maybe an anime or something like that, no spoilers, please, no spoilers. Remember, generally don't give anything away that hasn't already happened, or don't give any advice unless I ask specifically, please, because I do like to try to figure things out myself. But you know, sometimes it's too much, it takes too much time, and I might need a little advice, in which case I'll ask, and you can tell me in that case. And yeah, please keep chat on topic. Just try not to talk about it unless it's happening on screen, or me or someone else on the stream is already talking about it. Please try not to bring up any other names of creators in the chat unprompted. And also please don't bring my name up in other people's chats, please, because I don't want to bother them or make them uncomfortable to talk about other creators either. Right. Please only chat in English or Japanese, because those are the only two languages I understand. I won't be able to understand what you're saying if it's a different language, and so I can't respond to it. It's just filling up the chat. Try to keep emojis to 3 per comment, just because I don't want to have too much emoji spam. I think 3 at a time is generally a good number, and you know, maybe some exceptions is okay when the time is right. You know, if we're going crazy in a karaoke or something, you know, maybe it's okay to have a few more. When we have the the Noctix collabs, we have all the hearts of all of our different colors. That's so cute, you know. Maybe sometimes in cases like that, it's okay. But just in general, please try to keep it to only 3 emojis at a time. Thank you. And I am the law. So I always get the final word. These are the basic rules, but if I don't like it, I'll make the final decision. Yeah. There's been a little discourse lately in the community. We've also been talking about it behind the scenes a little bit. First of all, I want to apologize to my moderators because they never chose to be moderators. I'm sorry to my mods for you know, putting pressure on them and all that responsibility and attention that they never even asked for it. I've never heard any complaints about my mods, actually. But just in order to avoid future problems, I think the mods should remain silent. And you know, if they are to chat, then it should be on a separate account. You know, I understand if any mods would want to step down, especially after recent events. You know, I would understand completely. I talked with my manager a little earlier. We're still figuring out the moderation situation, so there may be developments in that later on, which I will also speak to the community about in the future, and I'll let everyone know soon. So sorry if I ever made anyone uncomfortable with the way that I've been handling the moderation situation up until now. I also want to talk about things like the requests in the comments and in the super chats. Like, Sonny, can you please say this, or can you do this? Can you do this voice, etc., etc. I really enjoy those things. I do, and I like that it makes for good voice acting practice, for example. And I do want to keep doing them. But at the same time, I feel like I've been maybe doing a little bit too many. I had sort of made up a rule for myself that I would read every single super chat, and I would try to read as many of them out loud as I could. But it took a lot of time. Rather than reading every single one, I think I want to spend more time focusing on other things, on the main content, because I try to separate my streams into the main stream, and then there's the super chat reading, which is like a separate section, kind of. That's how I've been doing it. And it's not that I don't appreciate all the super chats and everything. I love the super chats and I love reading all the messages. But when there's that many, you know, there's just not enough time to focus on the main content, which is what I really want to focus on. I think from now into the future, I'll probably spend a bit less time on the super chats. I might not do as many requests for things like voices and say this, do this kind of thing. Although I'm not at all uncomfortable with doing it. I just want to focus more on other things. I'm just shifting my focus. That's all it is. Yeah. So I'm sorry if you were sending a super or a donation expecting a request to be fulfilled. I'm really sorry, but there's a chance that I might not do it as often as I have been doing it up until now. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, and I just want to make sure everyone is aware of that. Okay. Thank you guys for the supers. Thank you. Arigato. Thank you guys for hearing me out. And everyone's being really supportive right now. Thank you. Thank you so much. That makes me feel better. I was a little bit nervous about talking about this stuff. I was a little afraid about, you know, maybe people wouldn't support me as much if I wasn't doing these types of things. But I know that that's only a very small minority. I know that everyone has my back. Thank you guys so much. Arigato. Whoa. Thank you so much. Also, I guess this counts as in the chat rules, like don't be respectful and stuff. Just like I try not to make people uncomfortable. I probably wouldn't mind personally, but I'm just worried about what other viewers are thinking. If there's a comment that's maybe a bit too overly sensitive or talking about something like controversial or something like that, we want to try to avoid that as much as I can. We probably say things like without thinking about it. I'm definitely guilty of that myself. You know, I might run my mouth a little here and there, and I'm really sorry if I make anyone uncomfortable with anything that I say. I'm always trying to improve on that. But yeah, if we could all just keep in mind, let's try to keep it PG, nothing overtly well, sensitive, basically, and nothing too controversial. Yeah, you know, maybe I might bring something up like this, like even the mod thing. It's a little controversial, but you know that's fine. I don't mind talking about that, and I think it's important to talk about. So I mean, that's fine if I already start talking about it. You know, you can have your 2 cents on that too. Do you have anything to address about fan arts, like content that makes you uncomfortable? Not really. If it's on Twitter, I guess that's just up to you. You could probably draw the most fucked up thing you could think of. I wouldn't even mind. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe some of the other fans wouldn't like that. So just be aware of that, I guess. Yeah. I'm trying my best lately to interact with the chat a little bit more, by the way. I feel like I've kind of been neglecting the chat sometimes. Part of it is I want to think of funny stuff to say without relying on the chat. But also, you know, I don't want to ignore you guys, so I'm trying to interact with the chat a little bit more. So if you guys can try to interact with me as well, that would be really helpful. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I feel like after it's been maybe 2 months since I debuted, I'm finally starting to come around and be a bit more comfortable, finally starting to come into my own. So I just wanted to start steering things more towards my goals. Yeah, I'm finally starting to be more comfortable to talk about it and start to be more true to myself, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Okay. Here we go. Time for Minecraft.